What's up, boys and girls, men and women? Going live today, trying to be consistent at the good old 7 o'clock today. First of all, I'm so happy everyone is, staying busy, keeping their mind active, going out there, maybe learning a new skill or just entertaining people. Went live earlier with Bat in the Sun because The Legend of the White Dragon just launched, and that was going to launch a long time ago. It was postponed, but we felt just to continue with it, and just trying to have the fans participate so we can be a team together. So I don't think it's timing. Like I tell, timing is all in God and the universe. So the timing of this Legend of the White Dragon, I think, is good. It gives people something to look forward to, at least for me. So I speak for myself. I'm doing it for free anyway, just because I said once we raise the money, we're going to do it for free anyway. So anyway, we've had a good group of people come on the show, from Leo Rush, Chris Casamassa, Mike Rome, WWE, Jimmy J, Bat in the Sun, Sean, who plays Goku, Adrian Morrison, multimillionaire, Chris Sabbath does voice of Vegeta, Derek Thieler, Baby Daddy, Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe. John Hennigan is rescheduled. Nakia and Catherine we had on yesterday. Also, we had on Zack Ryder, WWE superstar. And tonight we have Chris CANTADA, CANTADA Force. This guy is going to share the love for Power Rangers in the Philippines, but he's also a big, huge influencer. I'm going to say Power Ranger influencer. He represents the brand really well. There's a few people out there that do as well. So I'm sure, Patrick, if you're watching, I appreciate it. We'll all get a chance to come on here and share some of our loves. So anyway, bring Chris in and see how Chris is doing. This is becoming this breeze for me. Let's bring in Chris. Over 1.1 million subscribers. 860 million views. What's up?
Hey, bro.
What's going on?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. What time is it over there?
It's 8 a.m.
8 a.m. So you stayed up for this, or you woke up?
So I woke up. I usually wake up around 7 anyway to work out, since there's nothing to do here but to, stay indoors. Might as well be a bit active.
Yeah. And speaking of Chris and working out, now that we mentioned, I don't write down questions because you're just a friend and we've talked and you've helped out with support, so much stuff. You're working out. I was impressed. You've lost some weight. You've gained muscle mass. I remember there's a few pictures before and after. How did you do that for people that want to watch and say, hey, this is something, I want to do besides discipline? Was there a trick to when did it click in your head to say, oh, I need to get in shape more?
I was like overweight my whole life, from as a kid until like college. And then I think in sophomore year, one morning I weighed myself and I saw that the weighing scale was above 200 pounds already. And then that's when it clicked that, holy hell, I'm 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And my height, I'm 5'8", so that's quite big.
Yeah.
So ever since that happened, I woke up every morning. I had this little like a elliptical foam thing
right here. I had
so
talking about something like that.
Something like that, but less legit than that.
Okay, all right.
So I did that for like every morning before going to school back then, like 5 times a week. And then when it came to the diet, I mean, I'm Asian, so rice is like holy grail.
Yeah.
But I changed the rice to red rice instead of the white rice. And then I guess that helped for me to lose weight. But at the end of that process, I just became thin without any muscles because I was just doing all cardio.
Right.
And then that's what I was doing in college. So that was like 2002. But recently, like I guess 4 years ago, that's when I started doing body weight training,
Yeah.
like pull-ups and push-ups. I'm sure for everyone, pull-ups is like one of the hardest things ever. Even if you're thin, there's a certain type of muscle group that you've never knew you've had, because a lateral pull down is so much different than an actual pull-up. So when I did my first pull-up, it really inspired me to continue. So that's how I got slightly bigger when it comes to muscle mass, when it came to the body weight stuff. And I just continued doing that until now.
When would you start getting tattoos? I was about 36 and my whole body's about tattooed now.
2007. So I'm not sure how old I was, but yeah.
What's your body percentage? If you would say you have a tattoo, I think my body percentage covered in tattoos, I would probably call 65% to 70% fully covered my body.
I would say, I guess 30%.
Yeah.
Because I only have my sleeves and my chest.
Nice.
I don't have any in my back or my legs.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I feel like as you grow old, it gets more painful.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
so,
I agree. 100%.
So after I finished my sleeve, I said, I think I'm done. I think it's getting more painful every year.
Yeah, that's for sure. I got my tattoo in Japan on the back of my leg, and I was sitting there trying to vlog, and I remember it took 3 hours, and I was thinking most of my tattoos don't take that long, but the whole time I kept thinking is, wow, definitely tattoos don't feel good. People want to know what it feels like. It's like a cat scratch or like a real hot, burn after a while. And it's just, the pain tolerance is definitely different. Maybe I had a lot of issues at one point, and mental issues, so I decided to get tattoos, or maybe, which is the truth, we were on Power Rangers and we can never get tattoos or anything like that. That was only after Dino Thunder, because they put that clause in because of me, because I got tattoos. So they said, make sure you don't have tattoos, which it's easy to cover them up now. Plus it's acceptable, to people and stuff like that. If you guys just tuned in, you can share a little about yourself. My name is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and I'm here with Chris. And Chris, share a little bit about your YouTube channel, what you do, all that stuff.
All right. So my name is Chris CANTADA. For those, so that it's easy for you to pronounce my name, think the katana sword, katana, CANTADA.
CANTADA Force. CANTADA Force is what you go by. Okay.
Yeah. So I've been a content creator on YouTube since, I guess, 2013, but it all was accidental. I didn't really think that I wanted to be a YouTuber, because my whole adult life I was a professional musician. I was a drummer for a local band here, and we traveled all around the Philippines and some abroad. We've had platinum records here, so my whole life was music. But during that time, I was also a geek, like a full hardcore geek. And then I remember in 2013 or 2012, it was the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers. And I remember that because on Facebook, it was always your face. During the Super Mega Force, they were promoting that anniversary episode. So in my head, I was like, I'm a bit thinner now. I think it's time for me to wear spandex, because I was a cosplayer before this Power Ranger thing reignited in me. I was a Star Wars cosplayer. So I wanted to try something different, so I figured I'll make my very first Power Rangers cosplay. And obviously the first thing I thought of was to be the original Green Ranger. Yeah. So when that...
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah. So when that happened, I figured I had the cosplay already. I looked pretty good, pretty decent, but it wasn't enough for me to just wear it. I figured it would be to complete the whole process, I should do a morphing video.
Yeah.
So I did it on my phone. I did it on the iMovie on my old iPhone, and then I uploaded this 15-second thing on YouTube, and then I just let it be. I just uploaded it, let it be. I went on with my life. I was just playing music and all that. And I guess a few months after that, I went back to YouTube just to see, hey, I wonder how this video is doing. And then holy moly, it was in the hundreds of thousands of views. And I was like, whoa, I never get these numbers in my life.
Yeah.
So I figured I'll make another one, and then the views came in for that as well. So I kept on doing like some goofy comedy stuff, but eventually the content that I do now, I made it into a skit. So there's a story. It's not just some funny antics and morphing, because anyone can do morphing videos. I've seen a lot of great ones as well. But for me, I wanted to step it up a bit to have a real fan film-ish type of content.
Yeah.
So that's how it all started, and I'm still doing it until this day. But this time, I try to also cross over with a lot of other genres of movies and TV shows, because I'm a fan. I'm like a broader fan. I'm like not just Power Rangers. I'm sure other people who are Power Rangers fans like Star Wars, Marvel, and all that. So I like doing crossover stuff when a Power Ranger meets, say, Captain America or Shazam or Batman.
Yeah.
So that's the type of stuff that I do, and I'm so happy that I could actually express the geekiness in my life into something that people actually appreciates.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a lot of messages saying that they fell back in love with Power Rangers because of watching my videos. So I feel so happy, because in my way, I'm helping the brand as well.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Big help in the brand. I mean, you know, everyone out there, but you have such a big influence, not only just in the Power Ranger community, but like you said, you're crossing over, which is great, because everyone loves superheroes, and Power Rangers really never had a universe. We didn't really have DC. We didn't have Marvel. I mean, I get it. We were in the Marvel universe a little bit, then Boom Comics, but I'm just saying in general, it's great to see someone out there take content and mix it up with the I like your stuff, man. You always send me stuff. I think it's very interesting, creative. You've had a lot of Ranger guests on your show as well. Like, you know, so I know you edit, you direct, you make things. Not that it's a spoiler for everyone, but sometimes if someone can't make it, you will tell them where to go, kind of the look of it, film it, and then insert, cut, and edit on some, right?
Yeah, that's true. Especially during my very first time to collaborate, when I haven't gone to my very first Power Morphicon yet. Yeah. Or I think I've gone to the first Power Morphicon, but after that, when I wanted to collaborate with Ranger actors, and obviously I'm here in the Philippines, and most of the Ranger actors are in LA. Yeah. I give them the basic story, and I tell them, okay, set the camera here, look at this direction, imagine you're talking to me. Yeah. And then I will kind of edit it out a bit.
Nice.
And then luckily enough, whenever I visit LA for either a convention or for work, when a brand brings me to interview like a celebrity for a movie, I take time to meet up with friends that I've made in the Ranger community, mostly the actors like Brennan Mejia, Yoshi Sudarso. I make it a point. Right. Yes, I make it a point to meet up with them and then actually film them myself so that it's easier for them and so that I can easily direct them as well.
You've had a lot. You had Austin, Walter. Did Dave ever? What original Rangers are you missing? I thought
I haven't worked. I haven't worked with
Austin
Dave. Yeah, you, Austin, Walter, Karen, Ashley are the Mighty Morphin Rangers that I've worked with. I haven't worked with
Amy,
David, Amy Jo, Catherine.
Well,
So hopefully in the future.
I think so, man. And for me, it's not about how many. I have known you out there. I've actually watched some of your stuff beyond the Power Rangers, like interviewing things, which I want to ask some of the top brands you've interviewed besides Power Rangers, because you don't have to feel obligated. But I've seen you out there, and it's not about numbers. I think it's great. I think it's great that some of the other actors are doing it. Maybe some actors want to know what you can do for them, but most of them are really genuine and sincere, and they want to help the brand. But also, let's be honest, Chris, you're helping them too. You're putting it out there. You would never think, Chris is going to, help me boost numbers, but your numbers are incredible. I mean, you have over 860 million views on your YouTube channel.
That's a crazy number. Even
crazy.
I can't imagine. I feel so lucky that I just feel lucky and blessed for that because it's still I can't even you can't even count that, right?
Yeah,
800 and it's funny and it's humbling.
It is, man. And I was talking to Aaron. You definitely know Aaron because he said you two were talking a little bit.
Yeah.
That and the son. He was telling me a little bit about you, and it's great to see two big YouTube influencers out there talking and getting together. It must be for me. I don't with YouTube. I could have got a long time ago, but at that time, no actor wanted to work on YouTube. No actor wanted to work on Netflix, a computer, television, or to be on a computer screen was just cheap and low budget at that time, which I loved. I had content years ago. Started my page. It's great now. I think the biggest thing I'm blessed, like you were saying, is able to share this with other people because you have fans as well that people look at you. They see you on YouTube all the time. But there's also other brands or other movies that you've interviewed. Is that when people go there and do a press junket, you go in there and interview them?
Yeah.
What are some of the big movies, big brands that you were excited about interviewing?
So I never ever thought in my life that I would be in a position to be in a press junket. But I guess in the past few years, these online people like me are being pushed to promote the movies now because obviously more of the young kids watch the online guys more. So my very first one was for Captain America Civil War. It was a press junket here in Singapore, so they flew me out there. And I got to interview Chris Evans, Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan.
Nice.
So first off, as a geek who likes going to conventions and meeting people, that was insane.
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying me to do this. Secretly in my mind, I would pay you for me to get me into that.
That's how I felt when I booked the Green Ranger. Exactly what you said in your head is what I said when I went to set on Power Rangers. I will pay them because I like this so much. It's so funny you say that. That's what I said. I worked with Chris and Sebastian, which are pretty cool, and I did see that. I was pretty happy for you.
Yeah.
So
and then after that, I thought that was it. And then I got to do something with Mike Coulter, who played Luke Cage on the Netflix show. And then I got to meet The Rock.
Okay, Rock.
Man, The Rock was
big, huh?
He's big. Dude,
I looked at his Instagram page, and he's just a monster. And I know Michael, too. He was going to come on the show, but he's a good guy. So The Rock was, all these guys that you interviewed, like I've worked Chris, Sebastian, Mike, how were the guys towards press people? Sometimes when people come in at Comic-Con, they're like, hey, I'm a press. And then either people go, yeah, or it doesn't matter. Are they pretty cool about everything? Did you get all your
Um,
questions asked?
I understand like they're there the whole day practically answering the same questions, but they make it feel like they're answering it for the first time. So I get that
Yeah.
it can be tiring, but when it came to me, because I figured I am a non-traditional uh, interviewer because
Yeah.
I'm not from a publication, I'm not from a TV network. I am a fan slash geek who are asking questions that are fan related. Um, I feel like I've gotten I don't know a better rapport with them
Yeah.
because I remember with Chris Evans, the journalists before me, they were saying, oh, he was just saying one word answers, one sentence answers.
Yeah.
So I was kind of afraid for me because, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. But when I interviewed Chris, he was like talking and
Yeah.
talking because he knew right there. Because when I started, I said, I'm a big fan. I love your movies, and I even told him which specific movies I liked from him from the past, which I think he liked
Yeah.
because those were not the bigger movies that I
The common one.
like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So his answers for me were so long and so specific. In my head, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is going so well."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like the reason why these companies give these opportunities to people like me is because there's the genuine feel
Yeah.
that a fan who really enjoys that genre of movies or TV shows are interviewing the actors
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. And Chris, I agree, man. Like, I'm going to go back to what I said before. You have the purpose, you have the passion, of course, the patience, and then it comes profit. This stuff, for me, is not even about profit. Like, when I did even my Kickstarter, Legend of the White Dragon, we were like that. But for me, I'm doing it for free. They raised the money, I'm doing it for free. And what you said, backing it up to, hey, I would pay you to do this, that's what people need to do going into it, which that could tell the truth about if you're passionate or not. I believe your success is because you are passionate and you are kind and you are trusty. And like when I met you, we don't know who's who. We don't know. The first guy I ever met was a guy on a ranger board. He didn't like the Tommy character. And I never forget this in Florida. And he's like, hey, can you sign all this stuff? And my first convention said, no. So how come? Because you're a Tommy hater, man. Like, why don't you just tell me you love Tommy? I'll sign your stuff. I've never not signed for anyone in my entire life. And it's their job. It was one, I don't even know. Someone knows him. But it's you're really kind to the brand and very neutral, and you support other Ranger aspects. Like, I look at your stuff and there's a different season. You're not just hardcore, this is what I want to do. The reason why I said good choice was because when you go into a sushi restaurant, no matter what you order, they always say good choice. There's never a bad choice. You ever notice that? Like, I'll take a good choice because they're so smart. They're so neutral. That's how I feel that you are, is very neutral. And you got the new fan base, the older fan base. You got Beast Morphers coming back. You got Austin going to Beast Morphers. Super happy for the brand because there's people that need to go back. But what impresses me more about you, when I was talking to Aaron, even with the Kickstarter, we did this way before. I didn't know this virus was going to happen at this time. We pushed it. Yeah. You were hitting YouTube people before YouTube was even like a thing, kind of. You hit one, you put your video on, you were passionate about it, went back, all of a sudden the numbers were hitting. And so you've been consistent over these years. You're not grasping. I was the first one doing Comic-Cons, then it just fell in. I've paved the way. I felt and it's great. I bring all my friends with me, they get to come. But for me, it is still a passion. That's why when, you don't have cons, I live in a beautiful house. I'm set in my life. Comic-Cons were what you just said. It was fun. That's why. So of course there's no cons now. And everyone's like, me too. I'm not looking at it like, I need to make money. I'm looking at it like, I want to get back, start shaking hands. I let people come all the time. It doesn't matter what you get. And I guess that's what I'm clicking because you said that. And I really said that in my mind. My brother said, you kidding me? they need to pay me X amount of dollars. And that's the mentality that me and him have. And that's why I went a different route is, you know, and so the people that are out there watching, I think you just got to try, right? You never know what's going to hit. Like my daughter, I tell her, try. You got to try 10 different things, right? Is there any particular project that you worked on that maybe you were like, well, I thought that was to get more views on that?
A lot. You know, that's the thing. You really don't know. You can't really promise anyone that this is gonna get views, is gonna, because the thing that you work so hard for are usually the things that don't get the views that you thought. And then some of the things that you thought of just by passing, and then you made it into a story, and then you shoot the video. Those are the videos that shoot up like crazy. So I try my best right now to just go into every video with the expectation that you've done your job, you've told the story you want. It's really now up there and up to the world to decide.
Yeah.
I mean, but when you come into it thinking that you've done your job, you've done what you wanted, I think that is enough for me.
Yeah. Which is great, man. I made that video where I shifted a turbo and then I put the Dino Thunder key in there.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that.
Key. Well, I was going through all my stuff and I was just thinking, what if Dr. Oliver had a key to something that did not belong to? And it's very confusing. You're carrying the Dragon Dagger, you're do years and years, and then you have Saba, and then you oh sorry Saba, and you're lip to lip with him. He's like, quit kissing me. Sorry, I'm so used to muscle memory, right? So
that's actually good.
I just look at all this stuff and think,
that's
you know,
good.
what I would like to see. That's the thing I think you also do, and Aaron too, is that I want to know what I would like to see as a fan. What I would like to see if I meet someone or someone meets me, I'm like, Chris, you want to take another picture? Or it's like, I guess one more. Hey, do you want this sign? Or do you want to be in the photo? And everyone's like, why are you being so kind? I'm kind, but I want to know, if I was going to meet someone, I want to do the things without asking what I would want to do meeting a celebrity. I would most probably get a couple pictures, have some sign, most probably do a video shout out, but that's too much for people. Sometimes people, like at my table, you can get stuff, you take pictures free. I don't care. I feel that this and saying thank you, have a good day means more than anything, because it's not about social media, but it actually 10 times faster goes around. If you look what we're dealing with right now, that if we didn't have social media, I know everyone's freaking out, but we'd be so behind the curve that, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but for you, for content, I'm sure people that we're at home, and and even with the Legend of the White Dragon, I was like, yeah, sometimes people might not click and want to support if it's not instant gratification. Like if it's not on TV, I'm not watching. Like Bloodshot, for example, it's stuck at home. Everyone's watching movies, and there's only 4 movies to watch. Then you can judge on that. But because of the instant gratification or being instant satisfied, I think that's not what I'm looking for right now. I think we're looking to check everything every day. I am like, check the fans, cool. And so it's something that's building. And once it builds, pre-production, it'll just be like, we're doing it. And the reason why I say this for you is because you cosplay. There's a lot of people out there that cosplay, but you're not just a cosplayer. You cross the board with other entities, like you said, Captain America, and a bunch of other stuff. You make your videos. You're a YouTuber. You got your YouTube started. There are people that probably want to get their YouTube started, but I've asked questions before as far as equipment and directing shot list. Is that something in your head, or how can people? What if they're not a good director?
I never thought I was a director because I was a musician my whole life. But when I wanted to, I'm the type of person, like, if someone is doing somewhat the same thing as me, I kind of want to level up a bit for me, so that I feel like personally I'm not stagnant. I just want to keep my mind going. So right now, I'm lucky enough that whenever I shoot, I have a crew with me. I have a 3-man crew, like with cameras and lights and sound. And then I also have a stunt team because obviously,
Yeah.
I'd love to fight and stuff, but it won't look nice. So
Yeah.
as a director, I want to create content that looks great.
Yep.
So I have friends who I now consider like my body double sometimes.
Yeah.
So whenever I morph and fight, it's them.
Yeah.
But for the haters out there, I also have a few videos that I fight civilian mode just so that they can see that I am trying.
Yeah.
But obviously, personally, when I watch it, I'm like, man, I don't look legit at all, but I try my best.
You've showed
But,
me
yeah.
some stuff before. You showed me some kicks and video. Like, I thought it was great, man. I really did. I thought it was great. And everybody does that. Aaron, body doubles, Alvin, in my Green Ranger suit. There was a guy by the name of Hean, and I'd really like to find Hean. He was my body double in the Green Ranger suit. We did, of course, Green Ranger versus White Ranger. Hean was like Bruce Lee, man. He was so good. He implemented, and there's a couple times where, I would bite on the lip and like this, like Bruce Lee, and you go watch. There's a couple American footage of the Green Ranger nose check. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's a subtle Bruce Lee. If you go to season 1 and watching the vest, there's a couple. I'm gonna find it, but there's a couple scenes where Green Ranger does this first and attacks, and he'd be like, "I got it in the shot," and it actually was in the shot. And now it's like you look, and it's a very subtle thing that you can look, but yeah, Hean is a good guy. So you sacrifice, which is good for the fans. I wouldn't take yourself too hard. You've shown me some stuff. I think you're great. Training takes time. I mean, I'm injured right now, and so if I had to, do something crazy and cool like a backflip and Legend of the White Dragon, most likely Alvin's going to go in it. Oh well, that's what's going to happen. And but the idea behind the content and doing it is it's great that you have that mentality, because most people, directors or actors, producers, they're too into what they're doing. They're not. It's a very humbling thing to say, hey, it won't look that good, which it did. So you sacrifice for the art, which is great.
So yeah, it's like I have to think holistically. Like, am I going to release a product or a video that if I wasn't a part of it, would I want to watch it? Would I think it would be a nice video? So that's what I think mostly when I'm directing.
Yeah.
But for those who start, I started with basically what I'm filming myself now, a tripod and a phone, and I did all that from the start. I even had skits from the start that were shot on a cell phone. So for me, I've had a lot of friends who want to go into YouTube starting out from scratch. They ask me, what equipment should I buy? And in my head, if you're just starting out, I really suggest not to put so much money into big equipment, because because mostly after they ask that, they also ask, how do you make money? So once I hear that statement in my head, I know you're in it for the money.
Yeah.
So if you're in it for the money, I suggest don't pour so much money out to make content, because it's going to be a long, long time since you will make money. In my experience, I didn't even know that I press a button on YouTube to say monetize for like 8 to 10 months. So for those 8 months, I was just putting out content because I truly loved what I was doing. And then someone just said, hey man, you could click this thing and you can make money out of ads and stuff. I'm like, ads? How does that work? So once I clicked it, and I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know this could happen. But in my head, I knew I went into it because I loved these little goofy things that I was doing. And I feel like if I went into this with money first, I don't think I would be as I guess successful in this field because the passion wasn't number one. And I feel that when you go to something like this, passion should be number one.
Yeah.
The first thing.
And like I say, dude, after passion, purpose, passion, patience, profit. But that's last. I never went into Power Rangers thinking, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire. No, I went into Power Rangers literally saying what you just said. In reality, I would pay you for this. Cons invite me in all these nice countries and do all this stuff. It's like, in reality, that's great. I'm spending time with people. And what's interesting is I wish Jenna was watching, and I don't know if she is, but what you said is what I believe. It's the content. It doesn't matter what you're shooting on. It's the content. Every time, like in the tactical world and the guns and all this stuff, people want to know which gun shoots good. It's not the gun, bud. It's you. It's you. It's not that, you know what I mean? And that you're in control of it. So for me, it's funny you say iMovie. I really haven't told anyone, but almost everything I've ever edited is through my phone on iMovie. I can't work. I say I can't. I don't want to work iMovie or editing from my computer. You know what I mean? Final Cut, like it stresses me out. You would laugh if I got out next time I'm gonna show you. I'll post it. It's just a hand computer, you know, it was way back in the days. It was called Canobus, and it was a Canobus, not Canobus, and had DOS. It has DOS on it.
Wow.
But the transitions are amazing, dude. Like I did a lot of skydiving stuff. I'm gonna have to show you. It's all on DOS. There are some editing that's that's still on there. But at that time, there was a skydivers thing, so we would portable take it, download it, edit. So I love to edit. I just wish I had the time to mess around, which I probably should now on a little bit more professional editing. But all my stuff was through iMovie, phones, download. The camera you told me to get, I got because I needed a camera, the G7 or
X, G7X.
Yeah, G7X. So I got that because I need my phone sometimes to do certain things. Like I can't read the texts, but I agree with you 100%. I told Jenna the same thing. It's you that sells the content. You know what I mean? And you have to try. You have to be passionate. And I have so many people that I want to be a rich, famous actor, but probably not today, because if you're, it's very hard. I'm not saying you can't, but it's if you're driven on the profit of it right away, it can't happen. But when it happens, this is going to happen again. What is your next thing you're going to say? You see on Power Rangers, I zipped it. Anytime raises came, I zipped it. I was there the longest. I was willing to work. Maybe other people couldn't because of their financial situation. But for me, I had schools. I just zipped it. I just wanted to watch. Never went against anyone. Never judge anyone. Why people left, why they didn't. I zipped it. And then we got the new cast, and I zipped it until one point where I was like, I'm kind of had enough of this, I think, because, Saban, it was embarrassing when the owner don't come to the set. I've known them. They've never met him. I'm like, what? You never met Haim Saban? How long you worked here? 1.5 years, 2 years? I'm like, I'll get him. So that's where it started. Haim, you need to come to set. I don't need to do nothing. I'm like, people don't see you. We're losing the flavor of it. When you used to come to set, everybody would, oh, Haim's here. And then we kind of lost it a little bit. And then it started running. He was busy. So a lot of people were kind of sad that they didn't meet him. And I knew him. I went to his house, talked about VR Troopers. He said, I'm going to make you a rich, famous movie star. And I cut through all that. The only thing I was thinking of, Chris, at the time, I did not know how to use chopsticks. And I went to his house. We had chopsticks, and that's all, eating some, Chinese. And I was like, oh, Lord. So the whole time I'm stressed out, trying to pick up my food. And he's a pro, he's like, would you like a Pellegrino? I said, no, I'm thinking, I don't want to drink in front of my boss. No way. Once I start drinking like something, I'm going to start getting crazy. Then I thought that Pellegrino was sparkling water. So, that's a skit right there. I couldn't use the chopsticks. He asked me for Pellegrino. I kindly declined the alcohol, which was sparkling water. So my point is that the passion, and you do it well, man. And I think you inspire people. What would you say to all the people? Because you do inspire people. You just talked about the content. You talked about the passion. But what would you tell someone if they said, hey, Chris, I want to get started right now. do you have like do you have anything on YouTube where you could say, hey, take a look at my first or second and just see where I started from? Because I'm sure all your content has kind of changed, right?
Yes, for sure.
It's kind of changed. You don't need a certain camera if you can't handle that camera, right? So what would you tell people to kind of look at your YouTube, or what can inspire them to go, oh man, I can do that? Because some of your stuff people can't do because it's really shot really well. You know, you have suits, you have kind of so what can people do besides, I mean, I'm saying Power Rangers, what can they look at?
I think whenever I tell people advice for this, I always say, do what you're good at. And for me, I'm good at being a geek.
Yeah.
I love it. So it shows through the videos that I do. When it comes to equipment, you can do so much with just your phone and your imagination.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a director. I learned in every video. You have to constantly educate yourself by experience, or if you want to, go online and take a short course about what you want to do. But for me, since I want to do skits, I would tell them that the story comes first, the content comes first, shooting it comes second, because as you said, if it's shot beautifully, I've seen a lot of beautifully shot, beautifully edited, beautifully with visual effects and stuff, but the story it wasn't engaging.
Yeah.
So if the story is great, it doesn't matter what you shoot it on.
Yeah, I agree.
So I told you I have a crew, I have people who I film with, but editing wise, I edit everything myself so that I feel like I still have that handle on my own content. And I try my best, even if I use like SLRs, cameras and stuff, I still try to make it feel like it has this amateur level so that it can still be attainable. People can think that, oh, Chris is doing these things. I think I can do something like that as well. And some people are doing it actually better. Like, I'm sure you've seen Power Rangers Unworthy.
Yeah.
They are doing things that I can't even fathom me doing. And they are also a YouTube group.
Yeah.
And who they bring out the passion. They're so passionate. Their stories are so well thought of.
Yeah.
And it helps also that they know how to use a camera.
Yeah.
So, but for me, it always has to be the story.
Yeah.
Story comes first.
Yeah.
And
I agree, man. I agree with that. It's one of the things where I think people can be themselves, come up with the stories that they're involved in. I mean, you might love coffee cups and you have your own little niche on coffee cups, then do that. Or maybe if there's an artist that's cutting hair, go online right now and show people, hey, I know we're home, I'm gonna teach you guys how to cut a crappy haircut, and do that. So each niche, which you are in the universe, you say you're a nerd. I think we all have the nerd in us from at one point, like when I used to watch Transformers, Robotech. Then I found out Tony Oliver was the voice of Robotech, who directed us, and it's just this world so small. And so do what you love to do. And you're right about the content. There was something else I was going to tell you, but you're right about the content. You're right about the cameras. And one thing I did want to tell you is that I love how you, I love listening to you, because I don't, at one point with Instagram, people used to say, oh, you're a social media wizard. It's not about social media. It's about, for me, branding and words are very important when you speak, and the words are important in how you place your stuff. But what I like about your stuff is it's still, I would say we kept Power Rangers campy for the kids. They're still keeping it like that. In the movie, they tried doing something completely different, cool, like the movie, whatever. But at the same time, I see Bloodshot, and there's so much money in Bloodshot. I was expecting a little bit more, you know, I'm not trying to be biased, but they pulled the show off YouTube. And then I was like, oh my God, all that work is just gone. So now it's back. So
Yes.
every, like you have your style that no one can, I don't think, duplicate, my opinion. Bat in the Sun has your style. No one can duplicate it. I'm not too sure if it's the look, the lighting, the apertures. It's definitely, you know, once you're good, like once I'm good at shooting guns, when I get a good gun, I can feel it. Once you're good at shooting cameras, you give yourself a good camera, oh, you better look out because you know how to operate it now. And you know the lighting. And so it's just one of those things where I think you do inspire people. Maybe what would you tell the people that said, hey, Chris, yeah, you were way ahead of the game. YouTube's, it's not a thing right now. It's too late.
No, just like what you tell your daughter, it's just try to do a lot of different things, see what clicks for you, see what clicks for the audience. I am 35 years old. A lot of, because I'm Asian, people think I'm still in my 20s. So they think I'm still kind of young. It's so easy to get into this, but 35 is not that young. And I've been doing this for like 5 or 6 years. So it's never too late to do anything. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. People come in and ask me if they're too late to train. Am I too old to train in karate? And they're like 35, 40. I'll be 47. Well, it's too late for me to train. I'm 45. I'm like, dude, I'm 47. There's never a time in your life where it's too late for anything. I don't want people to live like, what if I should have? That's why I don't like to live regrets, man. I don't. If something's on my heart, it is. I love The Legend of White Dragon. I know you've helped me before, and I'm not saying that for any other reason. We planned this before the Kickstarter, by the way. So it wasn't like, oh, this is the date I'm going to have on Chris. Font tomorrow. It just happened to be this is when we did it. We had no, you know, I didn't even know it was going up today. But I'm passionate about stuff, and I love the content I'm doing. And you have such a good mix of content. Now that it's your nephew that does your stuff with you?
Yeah.
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 He's funny.
Yeah. Because I shoot in my childhood home where my nephew now lives. So it's easy for him to just drop in and do stuff because I'm shooting technically at his house.
Yeah.
And yeah, and he's growing up, obviously. I mean, I've seen videos of him so small and tiny, and now he is old and doing other stuff. So that's why we don't get him as much because you know, when you grow old, you have other likes and stuff. I'm sure. Like when I was his age. Yeah, I was into video games, and maybe soon he'll be into girls. So YouTube might not be a priority for him that much anymore. So, but sometimes when the story is right, he's pretty game for it.
But it's great at that time because, you know, I would never compare children to animals. But when your puppy's so small, there's like a certain thing. Like once my puppy gets a little bit bigger, it's like, yeah, he's a dog. I don't mean that, but it was a cute time in his life and something I'll always remember to say, hey, dude, you know, and people will be like, aren't you that kid from the YouTube channel? See, Blake was growing up now. I don't know Blake with tattoos, beards, and he was a kid when he came onto the show. So after years, I recognized like, oh, Blake, now I see Blake as what he looks like now. I don't see Blake as the kid. So when they talk about Blake, I see him, you know, mustache, tattoos, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. But another thing about that content is that I trust, you know, sending you some of my poem contents. And the reason why
they're great. They're awesome. Keep on doing that, man.
Thank you, man. It's because I sent it to you because, you know, you are a very lighthearted, fun stuff, a fan. You know me. I just kind of, you know, if I could pass it through you, then I know my other fans would be acceptable. And there'd be no way you could say, oh, that sucks. But you always take your time, you watch. Wow, that's amazing. And it surprises me that you would even look at that content. But it shows me, like, you know, you're not just, you know, you can do what you want. I'm a little bit deeper. So when you say, hey, that's good, I think you speak for everyone because I'm like, oh, okay, Chris liked it. I know my fans are going to accept it. So I keep writing. But you're right. It's the content. I don't really worry. I mean, we happen to shoot really good anamorphic lenses, a red. We shot that, but it didn't make me uh, a better actor. You know what I mean? Just because we're a better camera doesn't mean a better actor. So you do your thing, you do your thing, the actors do their thing. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. And I hope one day, you know, we can see each other again soon. I know we filmed some stuff for a movie I was doing up there. And, you know, and I know you saw the trailer? The Legend of Go check it out. Check out the trailer. I think the suit is super cool. I have a few people that are, you know, Anakin's building the suit. I have a few people that are gonna try to cosplay it already, but I don't even have it, so it's almost impossible. But I got this, and it was I brought this out. I was looking for stuff. This was I think made in Lima, where I got stuck in Lima. It was just
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it smelled like paint. It was in Peru. Yeah, it smelled like paint. But it looks cool. It's nice and big, and so I saved it. And then we got the Bat in the Sun. I don't know. You played the Legacy War Games?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So they did this. They sent this to me. This is like just a picture that Lionsgate sent me for like a thank you. So I just signed it in the back. But Chris thinks you're getting all this stuff. Don't worry, Chris. I'll send you some stuff. But,
it's all right.
But yeah, man, I just, you know, was excited to talk to you from a different perspective. I try to add value to all my fans here. I'm doing it because of quarantine, dude. I'm like, it's like I feel like I'm looking out like this the whole time, you know. But we're trying to stay busy, and it happens to be YouTube is a good thing. Content is a good thing, and I know some people might think like, oh, you know, maybe it's not a good time to watch a Bloodshot movie. Ain't nothing else to do. Maybe it's not a good time to support a film. Ain't nothing else to do. It's like, you know, one of those things where, you know, we're just going day by day. And so I'm trying to put this little consistent for everyone. But I appreciate it, man. I do feel like you've added so much value, and everyone's watching. You've encouraged people YouTube. You've encouraged even my daughter to say, hey, look, it doesn't matter what kind of cameras you have, lighting you have. I mean, literally, it doesn't matter. You know, and I'll show you, but, you know, this is like, I have to use this because I don't have my office because the Wi-Fi is, so you're like against a medicine ball. I have some light, you know, this light's adjustable, and I'm using the chair with the two pillows. So sometimes, you know, the people don't see that. We used to have an old saying on Power Rangers, and I'll let you go, but we used to have an old scene on Power Rangers. We were actors, so we'd always be like, well, you know, the back's not going to match, or there's a guy over there that you didn't see in the other shot. And Chris was such a strong, ADR assistant was so strong. He was like kind of mean to us because we're young. He's like, guys, let's shoot. If you're seeing that, you're seeing the world. Meaning that it was fine. Like, you're going to cut together and you're going to go, wow. So on Power Rangers, we cheated a lot. You can go look, and continuity-wise, you would see like, oh, and you could obviously see American footage, Japanese footage, but that's the name of filmmaking. And we shot on film, and we couldn't watch our dailies until the next day, so we didn't know what we shot. I mean, so it was pretty crazy. So we appreciate you, man. I do.
Thanks, bro.
Look forward to seeing you, man. And anything I can ever do for you, let me know. I always, you know, when we're posting back and forth, your stuff, my stuff, we're really not, hey, post this or talking in between. I just see something, I like it, you send me something. So I think just want the fans to know that we're not here for anything. But I do want fans to know where they can find you on YouTube so they can start watching you on YouTube.
All right. So again, on Instagram, I'm CANTADA Force. Also on Twitter and Facebook. But on YouTube, it's Chris CANTADA Force. I've been on there for 6 years. I've had Jason a couple of times for vlogs. It's been a blast. It took me years to reach where I am. It's not an overnight success. It took me years to reach 1.1 million, which is crazy. Just thinking about it. But as long as you really stick to your guns, stick to your passion, I don't believe that there is no way anyone can not achieve that certain success, because, you know, if there's hard work, there's always a payoff at the end.
I believe that, man. So CANTADA Force, what is the Force? Was it just something you just added onto it? Is it a brand?
Yeah, because when I was a musician, I had one album, a solo album, which was released here, and I was so into the Star Wars, so I just placed Chris CANTADA Force.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about it as much. I just wanted to feel like the supporters of the Chris CANTADA music brand, I can call them the Force.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great.
But I just kept it because that was the name of the channel when I started it. So it just continued until now.
Yeah, which is crazy. I asked Bat in the Sun or their logo, and they were telling me today, which I just learned, that sometimes bats come out in the day and they're like the leader, the rebel one. So it's Bat in the Sun, and then you have your Force, which is like the Force, CANTADA Force, and then I have JDFFFN, and a lot of people, JDFFFN, what does that mean? Jason David Frank, and then my fight name, Fearless Frank. So JDFFFN, and then at one point we used to say nation, like we're taking over the nation, but now we're worldwide. So it's you know, JDFFFN, Jason David Frank, Fearless Frank Nation. So we kind of just put that now because we're trying to just go everywhere. But yeah, so I just kept it, man. I didn't, you know, change it, kept it, and you know, so it's amazing, man. Well, dude, I want to thank you for your time. What are you gonna do today?
Probably work out again. And yeah, you know, as much as it's hard to stay home, you know, we have to do our part, right? So
yeah, for sure. It's everywhere, man. And right now, I tell everyone, mentally, I saw The Rock just go live. When you talk about The Rock, I saw him just post real quick because we ADD things, searching, and he said, "Thank you for being here." For, you know, his mental health, mostly for his too. And I think that, you know, you have helped so many people get through this. I am, at least now for this hour, Chris, we can, you know, entertain our brain, feed our brain with good stuff. And now, unfortunately, you know, we'll be searching for the next thing, but we'll all get through it together. I really strongly believe that. I just think that the bigger hit you take is the bigger blessings we're going to get. So it's kind of like, you know, it's going to be a surge of, go back to your old video and you come back to it and go, whoa, 200,000. I think that's what's going to happen on, you know, channel and life, I think, in life. So hopefully we'll feel that surge. And in the meantime, we're just kind of building our powers and sharpening our sword and not feeling down and out. We just have to sharpen our sword today so we can win the battle tomorrow. And if we don't win the battle, then we'll win the war. But we gotta stay sharp. So I just, every day, I know I look forward to having you today. We launched the Legend of the White Dragon. That got me excited. I talked to Aaron. And so we'll just entertain ourselves. People, go to your YouTube channel. If you need anything from me, let me know. I'm here. But seriously, thanks for taking the time, man. I
just want to say also thanks for doing this, because this is something for people to entertain themselves every day. And it's such a great idea. Yeah. And yeah, I've been watching a couple of your other live ones. I watched yesterday with Catherine and Nakia. Okay. So it's something for us to do. And people are so, I'm sure people are getting bored now. It's on its second week. So this type of content is something that is such a great idea. And thanks for having me. For sure.
Yeah, dude, no, I appreciate it for sure, man. You've definitely been a blessing, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, man, if you need anything, let me know. And I look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, brother.
All right, buddy. Thank you, man.
Take care.
I'll talk to you, brother. Bye-bye. All right, guys, man. Chris CANTADA Force. CANTADA Force. CANTADA. I'd always say it like CANTADA, but it's right. CANTADA Force. Amazing. He's got amazing YouTube content. And like he was saying, not just Power Rangers. He's got mixed different universes. And right now, we do need to be entertained. So I'm trying to bring you something consistent. But I'm also having my fans leave with some kind of value. It was an hour, Chris. Thank you. An hour went by so fast. So fast. I'm trying to leave you guys with values. Every show, I've got investors on here. I got Chris, who's a ultimate YouTuber, social media. I'd say social media passion wizard.